7-9, 20-3, and now 2-6. What is this team?
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm Matt Cozy. He is Sam Olber, and you are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Cubs dropped 2 out of 3 to the White Sox this weekend. Michael Conforto hit a 3-run homer to tie it in the top of the ninth, but Ryan Rollison allowed a 2-run homer only minutes later as the White Sox walked it off. Cubs 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position, including in the 10th on Sunday. Cubs are now 29-18 on the season with 3 pivotal games against the Brewers next. More on that series later in the show. And the Cubs are 2-6 only since May 9th. Sam, there's no other way to say this, so I'm going to. The Cubs are really struggling right now.
You know, Matt, we could break down the series if you want. I'd like to just take a quick macro thing here and just say this. The Cubs are not getting enough production from guys that they're paying a lot of money to and guys that they're expecting a lot of production to. I always find myself at the end of the year when we inevitably get beat by the Brewers the last 80 billion years, and I say, man, we, as much as we complain about money, we've spent X amount more than them, right? And when you break it down, and I'm going to use this series as an example, and it's still very early. Alex Bregman's making $35 million a year, okay? He comes up with the bases loaded, game on the line, and I just hope he hits a slower ground ball because you know he's going to hit a ground ball to the left side so they don't double him up. And he's making that kind of money. It's unacceptable. He's slugging .368 for the money he's making. Right there goes your advantage payroll-wise against the Brewers. When you're paying a guy $35 million a year that's not producing, it's a problem. They just extended Nico Hoerner. I love the guy. He's hurting us right now. He's about to make a lot of money. He's not playing good baseball right now. He'll get going. Seiya Suzuki makes $20 million a year. He's 5 for 40 with runners in scoring position. He comes up with the bases loaded. Matt, I actually got up and used the wet restroom so I can get ready for the bottom half of the 10th. I knew he was going to strike out. He actually almost struck out twice. Jamison Tyon's making $18 million this year, and if the weather's nice and you're facing a lot of lefty slug, it's almost like he's throwing a home run derby and you can't pitch him. He's a 4-starter. Edward Cabrera, you're not paying him a lot of money, but you gave up some real prospect capital for him, and he's been a massive, so far, disappointment for my eyes. Those guys, like Jed, those guys got to step up and play. Those guys got to step up and hit. I'm not going to get mad at the guys like Mo Ballesteros, it's a rookie. Michael Conforto's carrying you on a minimum deal. And I don't like, and I'm not criticizing guys making a lot of money. That's not what I'm saying. That's the game. They earned that right. Alex Bregman earned that contract. Nico Hoerner earned that contract. But those dudes got to start playing like it. That's what it comes down to. They are 29-18 right now, and you go and you grade everybody around the team. Outside of Michael Conforto and Shota Imanaga, I don't see many A's. And Ben Brown, I don't see many A's. You need better performances from the guys that are getting paid to be great.
Yeah, we discussed when the Cubs had all these pitching injuries, how much elevated importance Alex Bregman had on the position side. And to a lesser extent, Pete and others. Bregman had overall, at least of his stat line, a good series, including a couple loud outs Friday, but I just wanted more. I wanted more on Sunday. It felt like they should have scored more runs early. They left 1 on in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. First and third, 1 out in the fourth. Happ grounds into a double play to end the frame. The White Sox starter, Eric Fetty, threw 92 pitches in just 3 innings. And 4 runs felt like it should have been 6. For me, in that early part of the game.
Yep.
Top of the 8th, first and second, no outs. I'm standing and dancing around my living room when Dansby Swanson executes a sacrifice bunt.
Yep.
Seconds later, Horner has a weak, shallow fly out to left. Michael Busch battles, but he also recorded a fly out. And in the 10th, the White Sox, Will Venable and his strategy is a big reason why they won the game. And the key at bat there was a Horner fielder's choice. Pete did his dancing game to advance Dansby and Nico to second and third, but then Busch was intentionally walked. Happ was intentionally walked. It just felt like going to the bottom of the 10th, 8-7 felt very flimsy in a game you already led 4-1, by the way, and then trailed 7-4. So, this one sticks out. I'm glad the other NL Central teams lost.
I don't care.
I don't, not sure about the Pirates. I know the Brewers, Cardinals, and Reds did. Mm-hmm. But this sticks out, and now in 8 games, you've only won 2.
I forgot to mention Phil Maton and Hunter Harvey. They're making a large amount of money combined as well for relievers. Yeah. One of them's not pitching, and the other one, it would be better off if he were in AAA. Yeah, if he were in AAA right now or something like that. Again, to my point, like it's all the Cubs paid Phil Maton, and he went out and he. By the way, he came in with 1 out already. 1 out already.
Nobody on.
Then he got a ground out to short. Swanson made a great play. His execution after that was porous. It was porous.
It was 2 outs, nobody on. He gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm not even like, just look where the pitches were. I mean, he has no idea where the pitches are going. I was watching the game with somebody, and she goes, why does he look so scared?
Well, no, he's always looked that way.
Well, now it's time to talk about it because his ERA is 9.5.
Well, no, he gave up big hits earlier in the week.
He's got
horrible.
Look, I'll go back to my point.
They got duped on Maton, dude. They did.
Got serious problems with their pitching, and they need the dudes like Alex Bregman.
No, their pitching stinks right now.
There should be a rule. You should not have an intentional walk ahead of a dude making $35 million to load the bases with 1 out. If you're a $35 million a year player, you should take that personal and get a base hit.
And nobody got a big hit all weekend practically. Friday night.
And Conforto.
Right.
You're 29-18 right now because of Conforto, Brown, Shota, and some relievers like Milner, some good managing. I actually thought Counsell managed the game well. I wish Rolison didn't go out there.
Yeah, I thought that was strange.
I thought it'd be Thornton or the new guy, Ty Bloch. I just have seen enough. Like Rolison just hasn't executed. But overall, it wasn't a Counsell loss. I agree. Runners. Look, here's the game. Runners in scoring position. Cubs went 2 for 15. White Sox went 5 for 12. There, my friends, is your baseball game. And I got to tell you this. There's a lot.
They should at least been 9-7 exiting the top of the.
There's a lot of chirping, with the Sox fans and this and this. I'll say this, and I love Cap. It's been on our show. If you think right now it's even close between their shortstop and our shortstop, I don't know what you see. I'm a Dansby guy. I got a lot of respect for what he's done. But that guy over there at short, I mean, come on. I mean, the Cubs intentionally walked him. I mean, nobody's intentionally walking Dansby Swanson with the game on the line. That, as Cap would say, no shot.
They're 2, 3, 4 of Murakami, Vargas, and Montgomery. It seems legit to me.
Well, Vargas just crushes the Cubs. He's on the top of the Cub killer list. I'm not sure that he's that guy, but he is that guy who gets Cubs. And by the way, just want to mention a couple of things defensively. Thought Nico had an opportunity to turn 2, and it turned into 2 runs. And I'm not going to get on Pete for not making that catch, but I'm just going to say this. We celebrate him defensively like he's the greatest thing we've ever seen. He hasn't hit much offensively. It was a ball he could have caught, and if he catches it, the Cubs probably win the game. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying he should have had it.
Yeah,
but
it didn't strike me as he should have.
I think he would tell you he really could have had it, and I think if that play happens 10 times, he probably catches it 5 or 6.
Yeah, and Colin Ray issuing a
Was not
leadoff
good.
walk didn't help either. All right, let's keep breaking this down.
Nobody pitched well. Nobody.
Right after this.
This episode is brought to you by a FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel is a great offer to get you started. Right now, new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. Folks, we have a Game 7 Sunday night tonight. The Detroit Pistons host the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the spread on this is about 4.5 on FanDuel. I bet Detroit before the series to win the series at like a -126 clip. So I'm just hoping that they win the series. It'll be really interesting to see James Harden and his Game 7 ghosts if they come up and have a play in this. But there's nothing like a late Game 7 and late round in the playoffs. It's the best. I can't wait to watch it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel. Play your game.
Today's episode is also brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. If you got a sweet tooth like I do, you know how tough it is to find that perfect treat without all the sugar. That's why Cotton Candy 5 Hour Energy shot brings the nostalgic flavor back in a whole new way. This is that classic cotton candy taste you remember, but with a tasty caffeine boost and zero sugar. It's a quick, easy way to satisfy that sweet craving while keeping things simple and on the go. Cotton candy in the summer. You can't be eating sweets all day, but it's a summer favorite. This is a perfect alternative. The vanilla vibes, the surprisingly smoothness, that throwback taste. It's convenient too. Small portable shot that you can grab whenever you need a little pick-me-up. Bring on the sweetness with Cotton Candy 5 Hour Energy shots. Available online now at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Thank you for making Locked On Cubs your first listen of the day. If you haven't already, go check out our new Everydayer Club, which includes ad-free episodes and more. Go to lockedoncubs.supercast.com or click the link in this episode description. All right, besides, well, you can't really use the besides qualifier because it ended up really proving pivotal with Maton and Rollison. Before those guys, the bullpen actually performed well this weekend, and Trent Thornton had 2 clutch innings on Friday night after the Cubs coasted to a win.
Jacob Webb's pitching well.
But Sam, the starting pitching, and Milner.
Yeah, Milner.
And Palencia is doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
The starting pitching this weekend was it reminded us why we brought up these questions over the last month when we heard about Horton, we heard about Steele, we heard about Boyd, we heard about Boyd again.
Wiggins.
How are they going to get through this? And let's go Friday, Saturday, Sunday in order here. Sam, Edward Cabrera threw only 55% strikes on Friday, 4 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA up to 4.09. Shout out to Carson Kelly, who did break the tie in that game, finished 3 for 5 that night as the Cubs did win their only game of the series. Cabrera is leaving a lot to be desired right now, and I don't really know what the fix is.
Yeah, look, I'm on both sides of this because I loved it when the Cubs traded for him, and after his 3rd start, I came on here and said something's not right.
So that long ago it was at this point.
Yeah, it was after his 3rd or 4th start. I remember because I texted Steele. And he's obviously going to support his guys and say, hey, he's going to be fine, he's going to be great. But something ain't right. The stuff is not what it was. It's not, and the 55% strike thing, Matthew, that actually doesn't bother me because that's who he always has been. It's kind of like Pete. Right? We talk about the chase. No. I need to see Pete drive the baseball more on pitches that he's supposed to hit. With Cabrera, he's always been a little wild. What made him unique, what made him a catch, what made him the big fish is he could throw 98, 99 with that devastating 95-mile-an-hour changeup, strike out 7, 8, 9 guys in a 5-inning span and make you look silly. He's not making anybody look silly. It looks comfortable. It looks hittable. And this isn't the guy they traded for. And to answer the beginning part of your thing with this pitching, J-Mo's going to have nights like that. I know you're going to break that down.
Sure.
His ERA is always going to look high because there's going to be 2 games, 3 games every 11, 12 starts where he gives up 1 billion homers. And then when he comes back to the friendly confines and it's better weather, he'll pitch well. They need Cabrera to be a top-end guy, and he doesn't look like it right now.
Well, we need to revisit the top 10 most important Cubs list this week because I feel like it is front and center right now, especially with the 2 guys they acquired within days of each other. I know Bregman had like 6 or 7 hits in this series, but Cabrera and Bregman right now are impacting this team. And I don't think you could talk about Nico Horner. I think it's fair to keep talking about him as much as we do. This guy's average is plummeting.
And voices.
When David Letterman threw that watermelon off the top of the CBS, the Ed Sullivan Theater or whatever, and that skit he did. I mean, he really hurt the team on Sunday.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second and ask you a question? Can I just ask you something right now? And again, I'm not trying to look, folks, I'm not trying to be this guy. Our job here is to just call it like it is. On
you shouldn't bat leadoff anymore.
May 16th. Can I ask you a question? Whatever the date 17th, is. May 17th. Can I ask you the date? Can I ask you this? Alex Bregman right now slashing 259, 346, 368 with average third base defense. Could Matt Shaw not have done that?
Right.
He's supposed to give us something that we couldn't have already gotten.
Yeah, who, by the way, doesn't even have the amount of plate appearances, I don't think, as many days in May. He never plays anymore.
He's going to get traded probably at the deadline. And again, I'm not saying I disagree with anything. I'm just calling it like it right now. Alex Bregman, the difference between him and Matt Shaw with the money Bregman's making ain't enough. You could have spent that money on somebody over that's got 20-plus home runs in Philly. Yeah. Now, again, It's early, but I'm just saying that's how you have to look at it. That they spent a lot of money on this guy. And right now, I believe the Cubs have a dude on the team that could be doing what he's doing. He needs to separate himself from that and get hot. And I believe that he will. Yeah,
but the top of the 10th is a great example.
Awful.
7-7, he hits a weak rounder to the left side instead of breaking through. So the Cubs do win Friday in spite of Cabrera Saturday. They were never in that game. Folks, Jameson Taillon allowed 5 homers, as Sam mentioned. He's now given up 16 in 50 innings, allowed 24 all of last year, 21 in 2024, career high 27 in 2023. But he is currently on pace to allow 56 home runs in 176 innings. Bert Blyleven holds the all-time record for homers allowed in a single season with 50. But in that season, in 1986, he pitched 271 innings, 95 more than Taillon is projected. And Taillon's projected to give up 6 more homers at the current pace. And yeah, I get what you're saying. He's a 4. At best, he's a 3.
He's not a 3.
But that is
he's a 4.
Oof. That's troublesome. And Ray got into trouble Sunday too. I'm not going to let him off the hook.
No, they don't have anybody right now but Shota, which we'll talk about next segment.
So you're telling me they have 1 pitcher? They have 2. Well, Brown's doing well.
No, but they don't have 1 pitcher right now that I feel really comfortable about.
Yeah, they have 1 true starting pitcher right now.
Yeah, and I don't even feel comfortable with him in hitter's conditions with the home run ball.
Wind's supposed to blow out Monday night.
Yeah, so I don't feel comfortable with that.
And where was Ballesteros? Is just riding the hot hand with Conforto? I thought they were going to try to play both guys.
You have to ride. You have to ride Conforto right now. He's
which he showed you why Sunday.
Yeah. It's frustrating for me because I think there's a special hitter in Mo, and I'm worried that his season now is going to get off the rails from this ridiculous slump. And I don't even think a lot of it was his fault. But right now, Craig has to win baseball games, and Michael Conforto is the best guy in the team versus righties. You have to see him tomorrow night with the wind blowing out against Brandon Sproat.
I guess I'm confused why he started Friday and then sat 2 days in a row.
Probably to say, hey, let's see if it looks decent. It didn't look, I mean, he got a hit, but it didn't look great. And then Conforto looked really good again on Saturday.
And did Horner get hurt Sunday at first base on that play?
And Suzuki was limping after running into the wall.
Seiya might have gotten hurt
on the 140th homer of the weekend for the Sox.
So we're at 340 when the clubhouse opens tomorrow. We're gonna have to keep tabs.
And by the way, just to close the series, look, all respect to the White Sox, outstanding. Murakami, Montgomery, they should be fun, exciting. But let me tell you this:
they're playing well.
They're playing great, folks. And a lot of people are going, "Oh man, the Sox lineup." They just faced a struggling Edward Cabrera, J-Mo, and Colin Ray, right into those lefties. Would have been a lot different of a series if you had Justin Steele facing them, if you had Shota Imanaga facing them, if you had Cade Horton facing them on lefties right now. And again, I'm not taking anything away from them. Like that, they did great. I'm just saying, like, we're running out outside of Edward Cabrera, which is the problem. We're running out. We're hoping to figure things out here.
Yeah, the offense continues to scuffle even despite.
With runners in scoring position. It continues to scuffle.
Well, I would say overall. Well, you wouldn't say overall?
Suzuki's at bats with runners in scoring.
I think it's overall, but yes, especially with runners in scoring
Suzuki's at bats so far this year with runners in scoring position have been deplorable.
He stinks.
And it's to the point where I almost think something needs to be addressed with it. It's somebody needs to talk to him. He's a totally different guy. He's 5 for 40 with 871 strikeouts with runners in scoring position. Why hasn't
Horner gotten a day off yet? They just keep trotting him out there. We got to preview the Brewers series.
Oh yeah, he didn't get a day off.
Today's episode is brought to you by Hims. ED is way more common than most guys think. Millions of guys deal with it at some point. That's exactly why Hims offers a straightforward way to handle it. It connects you with licensed healthcare providers online, giving you access to legitimate ED treatment options from the comfort of your home. No awkward appointments, no pharmacy lines, just a straightforward process that makes it easier to take care of yourself. It's simple. You just complete a quick online intake and a provider reviews your info. If treatment is right for you, it ships directly to your door in discreet packaging, which makes the whole experience feel private and stress-free. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/lockedonmlb. That's hims.com/lockedonmlb for your free online visit. That's hims.com/lockedonmlb. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy, and we're lifelong fans taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. And thank you for making Locked On Cubs the #1 Cubs podcast. Cubs are now 29-18 after dropping what would be their third straight series. This one to the White Sox. They're now 2-6 since May 9th, and their first matchup with the Brewers arrives on Monday night. All 3 games of this series at Wrigley Field at 640. Imanaga Sprout, or is it Sprout? Brown, Mizorowski, Cabrera, Harrison. Mizorowski and Harrison have been elite this year. Sprout has not, with a 5.75 ERA and 8 starts, though his last 2 starts were much better. Brewers offense, 7th in runs, 14th in average, 4th in on base, 30th in slug. It doesn't really matter. They keep getting it done. They're also 4th in rotation ERA, 7th in bullpen ERA. And need we remind you to not bet against them? Since 2018, it pains me to say the Brewers have made the playoffs in 7 of the last 8 years, with 5, high 5 of those as NL Central.
Does that count 18?
Champions? Yeah. We'll also get to some news and notes, including Caleb Thielbar likely being activated from the IL Monday. Sam, this is a big one.
Yeah, every series with these guys is big because this is probably going to be the team you compete with for the Central, and every game's two games in the standings. You win, they lose. You lose, they win. You're 1.5 up. And if you win tomorrow, you go 2.5 up. If you lose tomorrow, you're a half up. You know what I mean? It's a 2-game difference, winning or losing. And they're the team to beat. Right now, this Cubs team is 20-3 in 23 of the games, and then they're 9-15 in the other 24. And
it's a good way to put it.
And my guess is they're somewhere in the middle. Well, I mean, it's not a guess; that's obvious. But they're probably somewhere in the middle here, and we got to figure out which side of the middle. And this is a really good way of seeing it. You win this series, you beat your rivals. You're 2.5 games up. You go. What would that be? You'd be 31-19 heading into Memorial Day weekend, right? If they won 2 out of 3, and 2.5 up on those guys and feeling pretty good. But you lose 2 out of 3. You're what, 30-20, and you're a half game up.
Well, with the matchups the way they are,
or 1.5.
And again, this illustrates my respect for them. But with the matchups the way they are, I was ready to propose really selling out for the win Monday. I think that's harder to do now because Webb, Milner, and Palencia all pitch Sunday. Those would be the guys to shorten the game from Shota to the 27th out Monday. And it would have helped, this proposal would have helped if they won this series against the Sox. But Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be hard. And I really want them to win Monday. I think they should win. I think Craig Counsell should put a lot of his eggs in that Monday basket. And then you try to rattle the Miz Tuesday. But you try to get to Harrison with a mostly righty lineup Wednesday, I guess. But Cabrera is taking the ball that day. I think my worry level would lessen a lot if they win this first game. I'm not saying I don't care what happens Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think just my respect level is.
Well, I think if they lose the first game
for them,
I think if they lose the first game, they're in big trouble.
Yeah. That's a fact.
You're either gonna enter. I said this completely wrong. I want to say it the right way. You're either gonna enter Memorial Day, assuming that nobody sweeps anybody. You're gonna enter Memorial Day either 2.5 up or a half game up. That's the 2-game difference. That you're either gonna be 2.5 up or a half up, depending on who takes 2 out of 3. So you should be able to take 2 of 3 at home. You beat them both times at home in the postseason. You handled them at home all year last year. So you should. This is a series you should win. I get it. It does feel a little bit off now that you're probably not seeing Palencia or Milner tomorrow. You really are going to need 7 from Shota. But if the wind's blowing out, like you said, that means he's going to give up at least 1, probably 2+ homers. So you're going to have to score a lot tomorrow,
Yeah,
and
maybe they go Shota to Thornton to Thielbar.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Because Palencia still can't pitch back-to-backs, right?
I don't know that for sure.
Okay. And I'd expect you'd see him in a safe spot tomorrow because Saturday, Mizorowski is it Mizorowski Brown?
Yes.
Yeah, that's daunting.
Of course.
That's a daunting matchup. And then the third one you said is Harrison, who's pitching very well. A guy the Cubs can get to, but he's pitching very well, versus Cabrera, who will have his first all eyes are on you start, you better deliver type outing.
I was about to maybe even bring up a bullpen day that day, have Cabrera get some extra rest, work on some stuff. We'll see you Friday against the Astros.
No, he needs to pitch. He needs to pitch. He needs to pitch, and he needs to show why the Cubs wanted him and trade him, and he needs to dominate that game and make a statement saying, hey, this is why you went out and got me. That's the game.
Yeah, I like that. Thielbar will be a welcome addition to the
pen.
High block, 1 day stay, most likely.
High block with the
Assad got demoted Sunday for block, but
probably to start.
Rollison.
Probably to get ready to start. Assad.
All right. Oh, also Sam Bregman. Bregman needs to step up this series, and can Horner get back to earth and Seiya and everybody except Conforto.
Levine
And
said
Bush has been good.
Horner told Levine he's fine.
Okay, good.
So hopefully we'll see him in the lineup. It's a great point about the whole leadoff thing. I think they're going to keep it there. I don't think that's why Horner's struggling. But
right.
Look, I'll close the show with this. You just lost to the Sox, whatever. This is a team that has owned you for the last 8 years. And
8 years, dude.
And
that's so long.
And then last year they put an exclamation point on it by flying the L flag all over their field, in their huddle and this and that. Show that it matters and actually bring some juice and care about it. Make it a rivalry. Say something. Do something. Go after these guys. Let's go. Not in terms of, I'm not advocating anything physical. I'm just saying be ready to go.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On.
Talk a little bit.
Cubs. Make sure you subscribe and follow so you get all the latest episodes.
Beat them and let them know that you're here.
To the first ever 24/7 national Locked On podcast network
Steal a base
channel. On audio, make sure your second listen is Locked On MLB.
Make a statement. I'm tired of it.
Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.